Yes, and I'm here today with Sir versus Reyscarface. This is a smogon Premier League match, and I came in a little bit late, but not much event happened in the first three turns. Uh, Sir led with a Cloyster, Ray with a Gengar, Sir sent out Raikou on the Gengar and was promptly burned. And then we can see Sir sends out his Cloyster, Ray switches back to Snorlax to prevent that Raikou from doing any damage. Sir's going to lay a layer of spikes as Ray goes to Gengar right now. And that's where we are. Ray's got an interesting use of Will-O-Wisp Gengar, and it's really wearing down that Raikou. As you see, he's just got a crit with Thunderbolt on it, but even before that, it's not going to be lasting much in this match. And I think that Raikou would probably be Sir's main answer to Gengar. He might have Snorlax or something, but as we can see here, Sir's going to switch into Metagross. Hold on, let me ignore spectators. And Ray's going to send in a Snorlax. That's a good switch by Sir, getting a little bit of damage on that Snorlax. Spike damage, and now he may get to smack something around with what could be a Choice Band Meteor Mash. And with spikes in, that's definitely deadly. He could also probably double switch to Cloyster here, since many of Metagross's counters, Skarmory, Swampert, Milotic, all of those can easily get set up on. And yes, he does bring out a Suicune. Metagross reveals itself to be either Choice Band with Thunder Punch, which I don't really see, or Mix, which is more likely. And Sir probably could have got the Cloyster and got the second layer spikes. However, Ray could be packing a Fortress or a Starmie to spin them away. And spinning, as you know, is not very hard in Generation 3, with Gengar being really the only viable spin blocker, and Starmie completely destroying that. And as we all know, Gengar is not the best of Pokemon defensively, so Fortress can really wear it down through the game, as well as just pretty much set up spikes as Gengar comes in. Free layer of spikes every time you come out. That's not a bad deal. We see here Sir probably over predicting a switch to Metagross or something. Or I'm sorry, switch to Snorlax. Suicune's common counters, Zapdos, Celebi, all Trounce Spike Snorlax. So he's probably going for a Meteor Mash to catch out on the switch. Maybe to open up a hole for his Raikou. Even though it's burned, it can still do a lot of damage if its counters are completely gone. And he's going to stay in again and try to catch the, I assume, Snorlax with a Meteor Mash. And this is really wearing down Metagross, which I don't think is very wise by Sir, since it seems to be maybe his only secondary stop to Gengar. And even though Gengar carries Will-O-Wisp, it's not going to want to eat a Meteor Mash to the face. There's also small possibility this Metagross will carry Psychic, which would probably knock it out on the spot. And beyond that, Gengar's a big threat to Sir's team, and if it eats a Meteor Mash, it's that much weaker to take on everything else. So we'll see if Sir tries to pick it again here. Heck, Ray could probably just go to his Snorlax right here. I don't think Sir will go for it a third time. We may see a switch out to a Celebi, or possibly aforementioned Zapdos. All those things are possibilities. And let's see, Ray has revealed Suicune, unrevealed, Snorlax, Gengar. It looks like he's using some kind of balance team. That might be a more defensive Gengar since he's using Suicune and Snorlax. But then again, Suicune could be a more offensive variety, though, with the damage it did to Metagross. Not very likely. So it might be a little more defensive team, and Sir's is looking like a Cloyster Spikes offense team that uses Raikou to abuse the spikes. Raikou is a very good abuser of spikes. We see here Sir brings in Cloyster on the Suicune. He's going to either Sir for about a quarter of his health, spike up on the Gengar switch in, and Gengar's going to predict the Raikou and hit it with an Ice Punch, which will pretty much bring Raikou into the range where it's not going to be doing anything else this match. So Sir is just going to try to wear down the Snorlax with the Thunderbolt, which along with the 2 layers of spikes does shave off 40% of Snorlax's health, which is a fair amount to be sure. 40%. If Sir has a possible Gengar, Zapdos, something like that waiting in the wings, this could be bad news for Reyscarface. And Sir reveals here Reflect Raikou, which I really have never seen before. Interesting set for sure, since many of Raikou's counters are physical. You could probably set up a Reflect switch on the switch to Tyranitar, Snorlax, Metagross, any of those things. Snorlax reveals itself to be Curse. Sir gets a useless crit as Ray just rests up anyway. So now he's got a +1/+1 Snorlax at 100% health, albeit 2 turns of Sleepy left. Doesn't look too good for Sir. He's going to try to wear it down with Metagross. I'm not sure if Meteor Mash gets a 2-hit knockout from the leftovers Metagross, so we'll see about that. Also the possibility that Snorlax Sleep Talks another Curse, or Body Slam Paralyze, so we'll see. Sir may be trying to psych out Ray by telling him he has no boom. Explosion would be very useful here. If I was Ray, I'd probably... I don't know if I'd take the risk, since it seems like Metagross is his last stop to Snorlax. However, he doesn't have any spikes up, so... Ray does reveal himself to have a Rest Talk Suicune, which probably means that his team is more defensively oriented. He probably does have either Spikes or a Spinner waiting in the wings, possibly both with Fortress. Maybe waiting to save that so he could wear down Sir's Gengar or Spin Blocker, so he can spin freely, maybe make Sir more liable to just let that Gengar go if he doesn't think that Ray has a Spinner. But knowing Sir, I'm sure he's taking this into advantage. As Metagross gets an attack boost, it still Earthquakes into the Suicune for 30% damage. Really just pittance compared to what he could be doing by switching out, but I guess any damage is good at this point, since it seems like Sir does not have a really good stop to Suicune. And I believe Suicune is either Calm Mind Roar or Ice Beam, both of which good sets, maybe better with Spike support for the Roar one. But it looks like Metagross is going to get a clean 4-hit knockout. So Suicune is going to have to continue to rest if it wants to be able to continue to wall this Metagross. And he's just going to sacrifice the Suicune there to get some damage on Metagross so he can send out his Dugtrio. Dugtrio is really good in advance because it can trap a ton of major threats. Metagross, Jirachi, Raikou, Tyranitar, Blissey, and those are 5 huge Pokemon in the metagame, and Dugtrio pretty much dominates all of them. Sir is going to reveal here his Gengar, which I'm pretty sure he had since he had those spikes. Ooh. Ray's going to double out to the Snorlax, his sleeping Snorlax, might I add, to wall that Gengar. Does not have Sleep Talk. Sir doubles back into the Dugtrio, which is a very good move. He really needed to make a momentum turn there, and he really did it. Earthquake gets the 3-hit knockout. Like I said, no Sleep Talk. Ooh. Sir loses his Cloyster, but by sending him closer to a Gengar, you're pretty much sacrificing it anyway. And here we see that Sir really does not have a good switch into Gengar, so let's see what's dead on Sir's side. Cloyster, Metagross, and Raikou. So yeah, it seems like Raikou, and he has one unrevealed, but it seems like Raikou was his main check to Gengar. And with the Will-O-Wisp, it really just wears down his team. He just can't, how should I say, he just can't wall it. He's going to have to make a lot of double switches and pivots. And actually it looks like this Gengar is either modest max special attack or pretty dang close, since Thunderbolt does a ton to Sir's Gengar. Got 2-hit knockout, but so it's probably slow, modest, max special attack. Ooh, speed tie here. And Sir's Dugtrio does knock out Ray's in 2 hits with Rock Slide. That was a good prediction by Ray, but Dugtrio was just far too frail to really be messing around with any of that stuff. Maybe if there was no spikes up, but there were. So, Sir's going to sacrifice his Dugtrio, and he better have something good to counter Aerodactyl and Gengar. And he does. Suicune's probably one of the best things that he could have had there. Let's see where he has an unrevealed. He does have one unrevealed. Let's see. Sorry. Yeah, unrevealed. So, he could have a Celebi or Zapdos. How likely that is, I don't know. But really, Suicune was the best thing he could have pulled out there. Now, I'm not sure if 2 Hidden Power Flyings plus a Thunderbolt would knock it out. Okay. Well, that solves that. Heracross looks like it'll clean the game up for Ray. He can sub up on Suicune down to the Swarm boost. Hit it with a super-powered Mega Horn. Actually, just nail it with a Mega Horn. Sub down if he has to. And Suicune should die from 2 Mega Horns, especially if one's in Swarm range. And if not, he always has Aerodactyl to clean up the mess. Yeah, I believe Reyscarface has this match. Oh, and that is Choice Band, so that is definitely a good game. Well played on both sides. Nice mid-game risk taken by Sir to knock out that Snorlax. They paved the way for a Suicune sweep, but Ray's last, Sir just couldn't handle it. I don't know what Sir could have really done differently. That Gengar was just a huge threat to his team, especially with Will-O-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp Gengar really screws a lot of its counters. Especially Raikou, who packs no recovery at all. Even when there was no Sandstorm up, he just couldn't take the continued beatings, and that was really Sir's only check to Gengar, and the battle was pretty much over there. But this is Badass signing off.